there folks, today we are looking at a really pretty new game called Akropolis right here, a tile placement game that I am really pretty impressed with. I want to tell you a little bit about it as soon as I throw the box to the ground. So really pretty cool game, very straightforward, very simple. It does have a fun little variation that you can do as well, but it still has a lot of replay value to it. So there's some really cool things about this game. One, the few things that I really like about it are, one, you can dive into the game really pretty quickly. Fairly simple rule book, fairly straightforward to jump into, nice pictures and everything. The artwork on everything is really nice. The actual pieces are fantastic. These are nice, like much thicker than a lot of other cardboard pieces that I've played with, which is great because that's the main component to the game. And you can play up to 4 players, 1 to 4 players. I don't know. It says 2 to 4 players. You could always play, since you're just trying to get the high score, you could always do your own little variation and do a solo game. So you could play this solo as well and try and get a high score, but each player gets one of these sheets right here which tells you what game you're playing. And so if you're playing, sorry, not what game you're playing, it tells you how many of each tile are in that game. So you're trying to collect different tiles as you're playing. You each get one of these starting tiles right here in the middle, and then if you're playing with 2 players, you just grab all of the tiles that say 2+ and you take out all of the tiles that say 3+ and 4. So you're going to take those out, leave those in the box, and then get everything else, and you're going to kind of put them in piles of 3 over here, and then you're going to have 4 that you can choose from. So you can choose from these 4 that are out, but if you take anything further from the first one you can take for free, and you can put it into your own little city however you want. So I could put that one there like that, and it does feel really cool as you're building out your city and stuff like that. But there are these cubes, and so later on, if I put this one on top right here, however many of these white places that I cover up, those are quarries. If I cover up 3 of those by building on top of that, then I would get 3 of these cubes. If I built on top of it and only covered 2, I'd get 2 cubes. And those cubes allow you to, when you have those, if I don't want this very first piece, I want to go down 1 more, I could take this, but it's going to cost me 1 cube. Or I could go down 2, but it's going to cost me 2 cubes. So you get some extra flexibility with that. And overall, you're just trying to build your city. You look at the stars right here. So you count up all of your stars first in each color. And this pad works really well to figure out your score and everything. So you figure out, okay, I have 4 yellow stars, and then you count how many of the actual yellow spaces count. So this is a yellow one right here without any stars in it. And so if I had that in my city, then if it was one that counts, sometimes there are different things that don't count. So like for yellow, it has to be isolated from other yellows. If you have 2 yellows together, you don't get any points for either of those. But if it's isolated, you multiply the different things. And so I have 2 stars, so I'd take the 2 stars times the 1 that I have right there, and it'd be 2 points. I'm making it sound a little bit more difficult than it is. This sheet really does do a nice job of helping you out through that. But overall, really cool being able to run through and just play a tile placement game that's really enjoyable, that looks beautiful. We've played a handful of games, and my wife and I have really enjoyed it. We enjoyed our first one, but definitely starting the second game, being able to understand more of how the game plays and that kind of stuff is really something I enjoy. And then there's some variants on the back right here. So if you feel like you're getting to know the game a little bit better, you get to add these variants. And so the purples, you get twice as many points if you build them on a higher level, which is really fun, really cool to try and do all of these different little things. Or if the red ones, you're trying to make those are the barracks, you're trying to put those on the outside the city. If they have 3 or 4 adjacent spaces that are empty next to it, then you get bonus points as well. So if I had this barrack out here and it has all this open space around it, you get twice as many points for that kind of a thing. So really cool being able to run through that game. Definitely one you can pull out and play really pretty quickly, introduce someone to really quickly, and definitely a game that I feel like when we play multiple times because it is such a short game. So definitely enjoy this game. Love the components, love the artwork, and I love just actually what you're doing, trying to build your own little city. It's a game that I would love to play even if we weren't keeping track of score, even if we didn't look at the score at the end of the game at all. And a game I would enjoy playing solo, trying to beat a high score and that kind of thing as well. So a lot of different cool things you can do with this game. The best features are the length, a nice, easy, quick game that you can get done quick. The ease of the game, the actual entry level is very low, so that's nice. The components and the artwork are another thing that work really, really well. So that is my review of this game. I really do enjoy it, and I hope that gives you guys just a little bit of what it is, what it does, and why it may or may not be right for you. Thanks.